Hey everyone, it's Dr. Laura Mock again here, the life coach for busy dentists. I am here tonight to talk to you about being lonely. By the way, this is my 29th episode. Of course, all of my episodes are super short, so it's really not that much content, but I'm telling you, I think maybe when I do my 30th, we should have a party. And anybody have any suggestions, let me know. I always love it when I hear from you guys. Did you know that? Even if it's just a thumbs up or a little comment, thanks for the video. I'm like, oh, my life is so great. Anyway, before we start, I just also wanted to go back to my video from 2 weeks ago. It's been 2 weeks, sorry everyone. I did an experiment with emotional intelligence where I went to work every day for a week, reminding myself that my good mood was contagious and that if I had a bad mood, that would also be contagious. And I have to tell you guys, it was crazy effective, especially to think about my good mood as something that I was doing for me, not only for my satisfaction in the day, but also for my numbers. I cannot describe to you how much easier it was for me to be in a good mood when I thought about it like that, as opposed to, oh, this is just me being nice to my team. I mean, everyone's got their own why, but you guys should try this. Be in a good mood for yourself and see how it works. It was so amazing. All right, so I have recently started listening to Oprah's Super Soul Conversations. It's a podcast where she interviews thought leaders and really smart people like Dr. Maya Angelou and Eckhart Tolle, all kinds of really fancy, smart people. Oh my gosh, it's going to keep me running on the trail for many hours to come because she's got so many cool people that she talks to. And I listened to an interview with an author named Sebastian Junger, and that's Younger with a J, Junger. And he has written several books, but the one that they were talking about at the time was called Tribe. Now remember, we're talking today about being lonely, being isolated, okay? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Mr. Junger's theories, and then we'll go on to talk about being lonely. Okay, so his first point is that humanity, humans, individuals that are Homo sapiens need a tribe for personal happiness. And he said that he's discovered that the less developed a society is, the more happy they are. And that is because when we're not developed, we have this interdependence that is woven into the chemistry, the biology of our species, meaning we are wired to help each other and to be helped. And when the country becomes more developed, we unlace ourselves from our neighbors and our families, and we become more and more independent. And it's nice to be independent because then you don't have to, like sleep in the same room with a whole community, or you know that you're going to have food to eat and water to drink and stuff like that. So it's good for like the comforts of our society. But what happens is it starves the part of humans that need that interaction and that interdependence. So he said that this is a really important point. It took me a minute to remember. He said the fact that humans are wired this way, where we feel good when we're helping each other, is the reason why humanity has continued to exist on this earth. If we as humans push each other away when we had outside stressors, then we wouldn't have survived as a species. Maybe the Neanderthals would be in charge now. I don't know. But that essential coming together is so human and so essential that that's part of why we have survived. And interestingly, during times of survival, humans have reported an increased sense of wellness. For example, there was this study that was done that compared Nigerian women to North American women, and they found that the Nigerian ones, where there's poverty and violence and much less development, these ladies were significantly happier every day than the ones in North America living in middle class. Here's an interesting one. Um, After 9/11 in New York City, you would have expected there to be a lot more requests for, antidepressant prescriptions, and you might have expected an increase in reported suicides, and neither of those things happened. The whole city came together and helped each other through that hard, hard time. So fascinating. He was on a deployment as a journalist with a platoon that went to Bosnia. It was a really, really rough time. It was 20 years ago. This platoon slept shoulder to shoulder. It was cold. There wasn't very much food, and it was really dangerous. People were getting shot at all the time. But interestingly, he said that these soldiers, when they came home, they wanted to go back. They missed being in that platoon. And the reason that they missed it is because while they were there, they were tight. They were taking care of each other. And that service to one another made their brains much, much happier than the independence of being home in middle class America. So interesting. So let's keep talking. What's next on my notes? Let's talk about our middle class lifestyle, shall we? That affluence that we have has been shown now to not contribute to our psychological well-being. We're isolated. We get up, we take a shower, we're by ourselves, we eat some breakfast, we commute alone in our car, or we're on a train. I've been on trains in mass transit. You get on the train and then you don't talk to anybody. You just read a book or look at your phone or whatever. You're still alone. And then you do your job thing, and then you go home, cook dinner, and go to bed. And how many people did you actually help during a typical middle class day? There's so many antidepressants getting prescribed now. There's so much PTSD. There's so many suicides and mass shootings. And all of these things are happening in our society right now. And it's because we're not helping each other like we used to, because we don't have to. Since we need to be interconnected and we're not interconnected, we as a society are becoming more and more unhappy. Now, if you kind of picture the typical middle class lifestyle and then you just pour on a little bit of dentistry, just sprinkle it on top, right? You don't have coworkers, you have employees instead. And I love my employees, and I'm sure you love yours too. But you can't have that same tribe situation with the people that you employ. You have a good working relationship with them, but it's not the same. And then you're spending your days as a technician in people's mouths. So you're not having long, meaningful conversations with them, because the longer your conversations are, the less your drill is turning and the less money that you're making. You got to work, right? And then you got to hurry home, take care of your kids, and you're still alone. So I just want to say that as dentists, we are extra at risk for all of these things that I just mentioned, with the antidepressants and the PTSD. I don't know any dentists who have participated in any mass shootings. Hopefully that hasn't happened and won't happen. But guys, this is serious stuff. And I just want to say that for myself, my loneliness started probably when I was in dental school. I mean, I was already a mom, so I totally didn't fit into the rest of the tribe. And I'm not saying that my classmates weren't nice, because they were really nice, and I adore my classmates. But I would do the dental school thing, and then I would hurry home and I would take care of my babies and just wash and repeat every day. And then after I graduated, I bought my practice, and it just went from there, just day in, day out, No interdependence, isolation all the way. And I was lonely up until maybe just a couple of years ago when I started branching out a little bit more, finding my tribe, which is what I want to spend the last few minutes talking about. It's already 10 minutes in. I got my little timer going. I need to make sure I don't make this too long. What can you or I do as a parent dentist, a mom dentist, to not feel so lonely anymore? And the first thing that I think is really important is just to recognize that we are biologically wired to be connected. Because you can think to yourself, gosh, why am I so sad and unsatisfied? But if you don't realize that it's because you're not connected, you're not going to be able to make the changes you need to make. Second, how about, since we understand the biology and how our bodies need us to be interconnected, how about if we just hack it and just find ways to be interconnected? And I would say, first of all, before I explain that, I just want to give a little caveat. Social media does not count as interconnectedness, okay? Like, you can find your long lost best friend on there and you can use it to message people, but do not count scrolling on Facebook as interconnectedness, okay? So I got that out of the way. If you try to hack your biology, it's really genius what you do. You just find someone who needs some help and then you help them. And it's pretty much a slam dunk. So you can find someone in your community, or you can find another mom dentist that needs a friend. Pick anybody. I wouldn't say pick your kids, because I don't know about you guys, but I love my kids, but they do not make me feel more interconnected. They suck the life out of me. Anyway, so you're going to find some people to help and you're going to help them. And then I would just strongly encourage you to go to really good continuing education and make friends while you're there. Because some of my best people, my best tribe, is ladies that I've met throughout the dentistry. So continuing education or meetings with my consultant or whatever. It's just been awesome. And those ladies get me more than anybody else. And you guys know who you are, who I'm talking to. So thank you. And I would also like to say that if you need someone to be on your tribe, I volunteer. I would love to be on your tribe. And you don't need to hire me to be your coach if you want me on your tribe. I'm pretty much one of those people who needs unlimited numbers of friends. So if you want to be my friend, I want to be your friend too. Let's talk. Let's talk some shop. And of course, if you want to do a free coaching session with me, I would be thrilled if you signed up for one. I'd love to hear from you. And that is all I have for tonight. Everyone, I'll see you again next week. Take care.